Shalom, shalom.
You guys are.
I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises going honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim B'chapadash. Double honors to our elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you with another lesson, and I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And we're going into this guy here, James Green. Okay, and this guy is going into how the Edomites were done away with and all that nonsense that they consistently pander on about. All right, and clearly the scriptures say that the Edomites are still here. They were never done away with, and we're going to go back into some history, right, to see what happened to the Edomites, you know. And the very first thing I'm going to start off with is Ecclesiastes 4:16. And it says, there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after them shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. But there's no end of all the people. And it's talking about every nation. There's no end to them. Okay. So we're gonna play some of this video, and then we're gonna go into a little bit of history. We're gonna go into the Flavian dynasty. This is a little bit of it, and we're gonna show some relics to show that during the Roman Empire, the Edomites were still ruling. Okay, so according to the nonsense that he's saying, right? Because we're saying that the Edomites are the so-called white people, right? And how the Edomites were in power, and they were called Edomites even back then. All right. So without further ado, we're going to play this video, or some of it, and then we're just going to chime in here and there. And Lord willing, y'all brothers are edified.
Listen, let me come up here for this. Let me come up here for this. Let me tell y'all something. The Edomites were created they're real people, but the continuing saga of the Edomites is here to give you an evil boogeyman to attack. They need you to believe this lie, to harness your hatred and your anger and your racism, because that's what powers their movement.
And just so no, what powers our movement is the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Of course, we do have a perfect hatred for Edom, because of what they've done, right? However, that's not the basis of our movement. Our basis of our movement is preaching the gospel to our people and waking up the elect. All right. That's what we preach. OK, so that's the first lie right there that this guy is spewing out. Secondly, he talks about the Edomites. OK, and we say the Edomites are the so-called white people. They're Idumean. Now let's go to the book of Genesis. OK. Let's go to the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter. All right, this is Genesis 25 and 22, and it says, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? I'm like, wait, if I'm pregnant and these children, are mine, why am I in so much pain? Because, the babies were actually fighting inside her womb. And the Lord answered, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Okay, and the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right, and Esau is a Shashua, which means wasted away as he. All right. So let's go into this. Let's just look into the, let's go to Esau. It says Esau, Harry, the eldest son of Rebekah and the twin brother of Jacob, sold the birthright for food when he was hungry, and the divine blessing went to Jacob, the progenitor. And see, this is off the progenitor of the Arab people. See, they try to throw that in there, all right, because Esau doesn't want to identify himself as Esau, all right. He wants to be everybody except who he is because he gave away his birthright, all right. And it's clear, scriptures clearly say that the Edomites will be ruling in the last days, all right, which they are, okay. So then we're gonna go to Google. Let's type in let's see. All right. So even Google knows who Esau is. Look at this. You see these images right here? So even when you go into the scriptures, you see a red, white man. So even Esau knows who Esau is. I mean, he puts the truth in plain sight, you know? And then when you type in, he said red man. So type in red man. Let's see what comes up. That's not red, the actual red man. Um, let's see, red, like a, see that? So what is this? Esau, Esau. See, they know who they are. You see this? Esau. They know who they are. Harry, Harry, Harry. We don't, Jake does not put these things on Google. Okay. We don't put these pictures on Google. We don't do this. All right. We don't control Google. We don't control all of this information. Okay. So all of this information is being put out there by Esau himself. So he's telling you the truth about who he is. All right. But see, but you have these guys like this dude who is a false prophet who says the Edomites were done away with. And there's no point in the scriptures where Jacob and where Esau, where Israel and Judah got together and burned all the Israelites. I mean, burned all the Edomites, Salakia. Where did that happen? It never happened. But this guy is saying that it happened. It didn't happen. Okay. So we're going to go to the book of Matthew because this guy, you know, you get a lot of guys who are just paid agents, right? They come out, they get this money, and then they start spewing out nonsense with passion because they don't want Jake to wake up. They don't want you to know who you are. All right. So we're going to go to Matthew 24 and 11. And it says, and many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. So you're going to have many false prophets. All right. That are going to come about. And I was another one that I want to get. 1 second. Okay, so let's just continue on with this. Many false prophets shall arise, 24 and 11, and many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto the nations, and then shall the end come. So we're at the end of this thing because the gospel has been preached to all of the nations. All right. And the false prophets are here, aka here's one right there. talking about some Esau has been done away with. So let's listen to a little bit more.
Are you understand what I'm saying? There are no more Edomites. What Obadiah was talking about happened. The prophecies that were spoken against the Edomites took place already.
When did that happen? Okay. When did that happen already? Because the only time that could have happened in the scriptures if Israel and Judah was still in power. Israel and Judah wasn't in power. Now, the Roman Empire came into power and they laid waste to Jerusalem. Okay. And Israel no longer had a continuing city. All right. And we can get that real quick. So I'm going to let this play on while I grab the scripture.
Within the biblical time frame.
All praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh.
That's the elder. All right. So this is the book of Hebrews. This is the book of Hebrews 13 and 14. And it says, for we have no continuing city, but seek one to come. We don't have a landmass. We don't have a system where the Israelites can pass judgment. We don't have any of those things. Okay. This is why we look for a continuing city to come, for a kingdom of our own. So how the hell do we have the power to put the Edomites out of their misery and destroy the Edomites? And if you're talking about back when King David, I believe he slaughtered all the Edomites. There was one Edomite left that was left. One second. I think it's in the book of Kings. Yeah. There it is. It's in the time of Solomon. So let's go back because Edom was never completely wiped out. They were close, but they were never completely wiped out because the Lord reserved it an Edomite. So this is 1 Kings 11 and 14. This is 1 Kings 11 and 14, and it says, and the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad, the Edomite. He was the king. He was of the king's seed in Edom. For it came to pass when David was in Edom, and Joab, captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he smitten every male in Edom, for 6 months did Joab remain there with Israel, until he had cut off every man in Edom. That Hadad fled, he had certain Edomites of his father's servant with him to go up into Egypt, Hadad being yet a little child. So Hadad was a little child, but it was an Edomite that had escaped the slaughter that King David, that the Lord commanded for King David to destroy all the Edomites, but the Lord reserved one, okay, which was Hadad. So Edom was not totally destroyed. So my mans don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's just spewing out a bunch of madness and confusion. Okay? That's all he's doing. There's no end to the nations. Edom is still here. Now, let's go to a little bit of information that I have pulled up. All right. What does Palladian mean? So let's go back to Google. Now let's go to, let's type in this. All right, so we're going to go to, what does Flavian mean? Go to all. And it says Flavian seems to be a typo of Flavian, which is the name with historical and cultural significance. It derives from the Latin word flavus, meaning yellow or blonde. This name is also connected to the Flavian dynasty of Roman emperors, including Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Now, we do know that the Roman Empire, they were so-called white people, right? Now, we say that Esau is the so-called white man. We go here, right? We're looking at, these are the progenitors of, I think this is Vespasian's great-great-grandfather, right? So it says Titus Caesar Vespasian, right? December 30th, 30 December 39, 13 September AD 81, was a Roman emperor from 79 to 81, a member of the Flavian dynasty. Titus succeeded his father Vespasian upon his death, becoming the first Roman emperor to succeed his biological father. Okay? Before becoming an emperor, Titus gained renown and a military commander serving under his father in Judea during the First Jewish-Roman War. Wait a minute. This is the First Jewish-Roman War. The campaign came to a brief halt with the death of the Emperor Nero, which Nero was an Edomite, in 68 launching Vespasian's bid for the imperial power during the year of the four emperors, when Vespasian was declared emperor on July 1st, 69. On 1st July 69, Titus was left in charge of ending the Jewish rebellion. And that's the Israelite rebellion, because there's no such thing as Jewish. Okay? Jewish means to be like the true Jews, and Jews come from Judah. All right, so here's another one. So, and then, oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to take a look at this picture right here. You see that? That's an Edomite face. That's a baloney lip, no beard having Edomite. Okay? This is another one of his dad. That's an Edomite, man. That's a so-called white man. Okay? So let's go here. And this is Vespasian. Vespasian, November 17 November AD 923 June 79, was a Roman Empire from 69 to 79. Okay, so this was the one that ruled before Titus. Okay, because he ruled from 79. Wait, was it? Right here, 79 to 81. Okay, yeah. So he ruled from. So he came after Salakia. Vespasian came after Titus. Okay, the last emperor to reign in the year of the four emperors. He founded the Flavian dynasty, so the golden-haired dynasty, which ruled the empire for 27 years. His fiscal reforms and constellations of the empire brought a political stability, a vast building program. Okay, another Edomite. So look at so they look like this to this day. These Edomites, they look like this to this very day. Okay, red hair, Edomite, Edom. Okay, let's go. Let's continue on. Domitian. All right, Domitian was Domitian 24 October 51 September 18 September 96 was a Roman emperor from 81 to 96. Okay, so he was after Vespasian, all right, the son of Vespasian and the younger brother of Titus, his two predecessors on the throne. He was the last member of the Flavian dynasty, described as a ruthless but efficient autocrat. His authoritarian style of ruling put him at sharp odds with the Senate. Okay, another Edomite. See that? They look like this to this day. All right, now, if you know anything about history, the British Empire came from the Roman Empire, and the American Empire came from the British Empire. That's mainstream history. So when exactly did these people die? When exactly were they killed off? Because according to the information that I brought out just now, they were never killed. They were never destroyed. All right. Obadiah 1 and 18 has not happened yet, sir. All right. So you need to shut your freaking mouth. All right. So we're going to go to now Second Ezra. So this is Second Ezra, the 6th chapter. We're going to go down to the 9th verse. And it says here, this is I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, which is symbolic of Jacob pulling down Esau's kingdom. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Now, when you go to the word world, we're just gonna find the word world. You know what? Let's see if this will give us what we need. Oops. Let's go to this word world. I was picking up a random scripture, see if it'll give us what we need. I got a scripture that I can pull up that'll give it to me, but I just want to see if it's the same. Now this says here, forever an unbroken age, perpetually of time, eternity. The world's universe period of time. So when you say world, you're speaking of a period of time. But let's go to John 3:16. Here it is, right here, cosmos. So this world is a different world than the one we just read. All right. So it says cosmos, right? And it says a apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, or government. All right. So when we say Jacob is the end of the world, right? We're speaking of the end of this age, as we just read in that last precept in Matthew Matthew 22, I believe, right? So that's the end of an age, all right? And the world also is a harmonious, means a harmonious arrangement or a system like basketball, NBA. That's a world, the world of sports, okay? You're talking about a particular system that's put in place, okay? So Jacob is the end of this system that's put in place and the beginning of the eternal system that's about to happen, that's about to come into power. Okay. And in that world, there's no room for Esau because Esau is the wicked. Okay. So no, Esau has not been done away with because Esau has to fulfill his place in prophecy. All right. Now we're going to go to one more precept and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. What was that pretty Salaki, man? It was just in my head and I just lost it. Salakia, give me 1 second. What was that precept? Maybe whatever.
Shy. Double.
I pray that it come back to me. Sorry. So we do know that when we speak about world, we're talking about a harmonious arrangement. Oh yes, that's what I wanted to end it with. So let's go to the book of Obadiah. So go to the book of Obadiah 1 and 18. Now, this right here, you're talking about the destruction of an entire race of people. Don't you think some shit like this would have been in the history books? It's not. So let's read Obadiah 1:18. And it says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire. This is a future prophecy. And the house of Joseph a flame. This is when when Jacob, the Israelites are going to get their power back. We can't do this now. This has never happened. Not to any people. It's been attempted, but it has never happened. Esau's been attempting to wipe Jacob out for a long time. All right. It says, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Now remember when I put in Google Esau, it showed a so-called white man, and when I put red man, it showed it showed a picture of Esau too. Okay, so Esau is a so-called white man. Blonde comes from it's a like a leprosy. All right, so they're clean leopards. That's why they have blonde hair and blue eyes. All right, this is not happening. This has been something. This would have been in the history books. Oh yeah, this race was exterminated off the earth. This ain't in the history books. There's been no race that's been exterminated. These guys are paid off. They're false prophets. Okay. I'm going to get one more precept and close on this. Because this is what this nigga trying to do. All right. You wicked ass man. Okay. You don't even understand the scriptures. You don't know the scriptures. But then you're trying to teach the scriptures from a standpoint that you know exactly what you're talking about. And you don't know shit. Okay. This is Titus 1 and 11. I'm a 1 and 10. It says, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole households, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not to for filthy lucre's sake. And that's exactly what these people are doing. They're getting the bag and they're teaching things that they should not because they want to get paid. All right. It's just another example of a wicked nigga who don't know what the hell he talking about, and he's trying to subvert his people. And then why would you want the so-called white, even if you said to yourself, well, you know what? The so-called white man ain't Esau. Why would you want this man to be a part of our kingdom anyway? Huh? The dude that poisoned, he destroyed the earth and turned the earth into a wilderness, man. Okay? He polluted the air, the water, relationships, the food. Okay? He done made it to where you got to pay for every goddamn thing that was once freely given. Okay? He done created bombs and weapons of mass destruction. He's still blowing the earth up to this day. And he's the one in power, but you want to bring this motherfucker into our kingdom. These are the same Israelites that said, crucify our Lord. Okay? That don't have the proper hatred for the people who are causing the damage. The scriptures tell you never trust thine enemy. Okay? You ain't supposed to trust this man, but you want to trust him and bring him into our kingdom. That's why the Most High gonna destroy y'all wicked ass men. And I'm all for it. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and end it there, praying that this is an edifying lesson, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem Shalom.